Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. You can already see a familiar front now. Today we're going to talk about BeQuiet Pure Base 500DX, the, let's say, evolved version of the standard Pure Base 500, which had only the side intake. Here we have a front mesh, and basically this is it. So I had this case sitting in for a while now, and you've seen the review of Shadow Rock 3. Now today we're going to talk about this case and basically what it is all about. Now I decided to take the white version just because I wanted to show you this. It has the rims in white color as well. Usually manufacturers when they create a white case, they leave the tempered glass side parts in black, so it kind of diversifies from the whole case and everything. Pure Wings 2, you have two on front 140mm, and you have one at the rear also 140mm. So the case doesn't have that much of a difference from the standard Pure Base 500, except for the front mesh part. You have the two LEDs right here going on the front, and this kind of gives a special look, special design and whatnot. On the front you have a magnetic dust filter. At the bottom you have a whole dust filter going from the back of the power supply part to the front, which is nice, and at the top you also have a magnetic dust filter which has white mesh top, and you have a BeQuiet logo right here. So basically all the right parts of the case have a dust filter, which is extremely appreciated. Now the one thing I said about the Pure Base 500, the standard version, is the cable shroud, which I really love. You have the possibility to place two SSDs, one on bottom and one on top, and reroute the cables through the small plastic cover which has the BeQuiet logo, and it really looks nice, especially if you place a 2.5-inch RGB SSD. At the back you have loads of space for cables, rerouting them and all the other stuff, and of course you can place two SSDs right at the back side of the motherboard. Now the bottom part has enough space to fit the power supply, even flipping the power supply, because it has an open ventilation for the air circulating down through the power supply. At the far front part of the power supply you have two 3.5-inch hard drive brackets which have the accessory box. So as always you have the accessory box in the hard drive cage. So guys, I know sometimes you do commented where is the accessory box. I can find the screws, standoffs and everything, so now you know it's below in the hard drive cage. When we're talking about the front two lines of LEDs, you have the addressable RGB 5 volts 3-pin header which you can connect to your motherboard, so Asus Aura Sync, Gigabyte RGB Fusion, MSI Mystic Lights or ASRock Polychron Sync, and you can connect it directly to your motherboard, synchronize it, and it will look epic. Now talking about temperatures, since we tested it with the Shadow Rock 3, I had the B550 Taichi inside with 3900X AMD Ryzen 9 3900X, and basically AIDA 64 with the GPU benchmark. It did have some temperature spikes, but I don't think that's because of the case or the cooler or anything similar to that. It's just because of the processor. So I would say some average temperature was going from 66 to 70 Celsius degrees, and basically I think even placing the AIO inside instead of the standard cooler, or even pumping up the RPMs of the fans, I think the temperature would go lower. But for instance, I tested the AIDA 64 the system stability with 3900X, which does a stress test on the CPU, FPU, cache and system memory, and the temperature went to 80. Now this is huge, but as I said, it's not because of the case. The case is perfect. It has an amazing airflow going from the front, pushing the air on the top and at the back, and basically giving perfect airflow for the components inside. Now this was a, well, it says the stress test, and it's not only CPU, it's the FPU, you have the cache memory and everything using full potential of the processor. So yeah, in game I think I was playing PUBG Battlefield and it went around 60. The GPU was standard normal around 60-65. So I had the MSI GeForce RTX 2080 Super Gaming X Trio with 3 fans, and the front 120mm fan actually gave enough intake of air for the GPU to keep cool and to run it perfectly. On the front of the case, on the top front for the I/O panel, you have one USB 3.1, one USB 3.0, you have the power button, two 3.5mm jacks, one is for microphone and one is for headset, and you have the possibility to adjust your lights with additional button on top, so you could just switch it as you wish on the go, so you don't have to enter the application or do anything similar to that. Basically, I'm very satisfied with the case, as I was with the PureBase 500, but giving this case even more airflow, I think, considering the price, two 140mm fans, which are PureWings 2, great cable management, loads of space for everything, and I think it deserves a Best Buy PC Crazy badge, just because, as I said, price, design, airflow and everything else. Forget about 80 degrees on the 3900X, that was just complete stress test and pushing the CPU until its full limits. While gaming and the standard benchmarks, it consisted a standard temperature up to from 60 to 65 and going to 70 when I did the GPU benchmark in AIDA 64. All in all, very satisfied. Links are below for the BeQuiet PureBase 500DX. Don't forget to check them out. Press the thumbs up button if you like the video. Don't forget to comment your thoughts of the case, PureBase 500DX. And of course, subscribe if you already didn't. I'll see you in another one. Bye bye.